So advanced replacement, RMA. It can be in a project or it can be in a service ticket. It doesn't really matter. If it's a project and you have to send one back, you can do it there, or you could create a service ticket for that advanced replacement. But either way, if we take a project, and we can take this project we were just in, for example. So there's two ways to create an RMA. One, and this is sort of new because it used to be you had to use only an E line. But recently, I now allow you to do a P line. So when you want to create an RMA for this panel, for example, we will go ahead and hit the order button here. Oh, we have to fix price first. Okay, fine. So set up fixed price. That's fine. You don't have to set fixed price on a service ticket, but on a project you do. You would go ahead and hit the order button. Oh, and then it has to be OK with this F12 key. Okay. Hit the order button, and then you get a PO. You start a PO. And notice right here in the bottom is a equipment return authorization number. So this is where you put the RMA number that they gave you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like so. Okay? And then you proceed to create the purchase order like you normally would. Drop ship, no or yes. We'll say no. And where we want it shipped to, and this was going to be this Virginia office versus whichever that Virginia office, wherever we're shipping the PO at. And then you can put the tracking number that you're using to ship it out if you know it now. There's where you can put that tracking number. And then you create the purchase order like so. And now you have a purchase order 1248 FR. When you exit the project, the project goes to waiting parts, which I'm going to just hit abandon for a moment, just right here. And then you've got your purchase order that just got created. And if we view the purchase order with the issue button here, Crystal, you'll notice at the very top of the purchase order is the RMA number they gave you right there. Okay? And you can put any notes in there, bill for partial complete, bill for, if they're giving you a price, $25 for the core charge, if there's a charge involved. If there's not, you can have the price empty. It really doesn't matter, whichever way you want to go. But the point is your RMA number is sitting right there. Okay? Now, what it did not prompt you for was, did this purchase order print properly? You didn't get that. It said, in a regular purchase order, it'll say, do you want to change the status of this purchase order to issued? You didn't get that prompt because if we come over here to the purchase order system, you'll see here under 5 ERA, you're going to see that purchase order sitting right there. And so now you've got a way to track all your RMAs. And there's your RMA number sitting right there in the description field, just like that.
Okay, so that takes care of taking the original bad panel that was on that job and sending it back to the manufacturer.
Exactly, and you're going to, when they send you the replacement, you just receive it in like you would anything else.
Like a new PO, like you do a new PO.
Exactly correct.
Okay.
Now, the other scenario is, so that was very easy. That was simply going into the project or the service ticket and putting the part number, and you see it's still unordered because I haven't received it in yet, okay? Now, if it's a device that's not in your parts list, some some device that's not in your parts list, you can also use an E-line. If you put an E-line, you can put, let's say, Bogan C100 for repair. This is going to repair now. And you're going to send it back to the manufacturer for repair, and they may give you a core charge, $25, or they may give you a to be determined based on what comes back to them. But the point is, it starts off, instead of using the P line, it starts off as an E line, and then you have to OK it, fine, hit the F12 key, and then you hit the order key. And in this screen, you get something different on an E-line. You get this option to do the one-time purchase if this were something stray you wanted to buy. But right below here, you see that equipment return authorization, and there's the same authorization field right there. So now I can say this is going to be from, let's say, Bogan. Do we have a Bogan in there? Yeah, you have a Bogan. Look at that. You've got Bogan, and the part number is going to be a C100, and we're just making this up because it's on the fly. It doesn't exist as a real part, okay? And then there's the place for their RMA number, like so. And then we say proceed, and then it goes down the purchase order road just like, and notice it filled it in there, just like we did before. Hit select, create the PO, drop ship no, and then create the PO. And so now it's on order. And then we exit the screen like we normally would. Puts the part in waiting parts. We're not going to worry about that. And then we issue this purchase order to Bogan. And when we hit issue to this guy, view, you'll notice the same RMA number. That should be the different RMA number. I'm a little puzzled. That should be 5678. I got a little bug there. That should have been 5678. It didn't. That's a mistake. Okay, that should have been 5678. I got to work on that. So you want to make sure you correct that field to be 5678. That should have been blank. All right, that's a bug. But you get the point. Yes?
Yes.
And then you issue it just like you would, and then when you finish issuing it, the exact same thing happens. If we look at our track POs, under this guy right there, you'll notice that should have been 5678, as I said. Or actually, this one should be 5678. Cool?
Good for me.
All right, that's RMAs. Anything else on this tape, or we got it covered?
Tiff, can you think of any other scenarios?
Not right now.
All right, I'm going to stop this tape.